how you guys doing? This is your boy Mario. Yes, I'm still here at Anime NYC, and I have a very special guest in front of my camera. She's the one and only Jo Chen. She's a very famous illustrator from the country of Taiwan. So, Joan, please tell my audience a little bit about your origin story. How did you get your start with comic books?
I started when I was like, what, 5 or 6? But actually, I'm not the one who began to just pick up comic books. It's actually my older sister. She's actually a really good artist, and she always liked to draw, and he just needs somebody to draw with her. And of course, then she got me to draw together with her because I'm always like look up to my sister. So whatever she does, it must be something great. So that's actually how I started. I just follow it. And because as a kid I was an introvert, and I'm always very shy, and I even have stuttering problem. So drawing is something I can express myself. That's how I communicate with the others. Without words, exactly. And that's how I started.
So, what was it like for you to take on your very first official comic book assignment? How was that?
You mean the one in Taiwan or the one in United States?
In Taiwan.
Yeah, the first, I would say, I won't call that assignment. It's more like, back then, it's not. There's no internet. And just the resource we can get is very limited, and it's kind of hard to find other kids who also like to draw comics. So, of course, once we find somebody who also draw, we get very excited, and we form like a comic group. Back then, when we were like my sister and I, when we were about like 13 and 14, and we actually just began to, publish our own magazine. It's sort of like a anthology, and everybody contribute like 24 pages or like I should say 8 to 24 pages short story. Then we're just doing something like a Kinko copies together, and somehow we got the attention of the publishers, in Taiwan. I think because one of the member who actually joined our group, she had some connection, and that's like the gate to the publishing professionally. Yes.
Okay. So, what was it like for you to take your very first American assignment? What was that like for you?
Well, actually, that's back then when I was very little, my parents, they've been applying or planning to immigrate to the United States. And so by the time when I graduated from high school, then my entire family immigrated to the United States. And at that time, I already have took some assignment, just basically working some short story with a publisher in Taiwan. But here, I was having problem with the language barrier, and nobody know who I was, right, at that time, and so I would say and that's the time there's almost nobody used the internet, and I thought of the idea maybe I should build a website, and put all my artwork on it, and and actually that's how I got my job from the Wild Store in DC, and basically doing the Speed Racer comic books, and through Tommy Yun.
Yeah, special shout out to Tommy Yoon if you're watching.
Yes, because I have to say it's a little bit of luck, because at that time it's more popular that you actually supposed to submit your own portfolio to the publisher, and when they look through it, then they decide whether they're going to hire you or not. And at that time, and not many people are using internet as a way to basically showcase their work. So in a way, I was kind of lucky when I was probably one of the a few artists, and use that to showcase. So that actually got the attention from Tommy Yun.
Okay. Well, here's something you guys don't know. She worked with Warner Brothers, the Mickey Mouse. That's Marvel, DC Comics, also Dark Horse. She has done a lot of stuff. She's worked on an iconic series called Street Fighter. She worked on a lot of Marvel women, Spider-Woman, Invisible Woman, and Storm, stuff like that. So one of the questions I have to ask, do you draw by hand or do you draw digitally only?
When you say, actually, technically, even though you're doing it digitally, you're still drawing by hand. You're just using different tool, right?
Okay.
I mean, you're using the stylus pen, right? And draw on the tablet. So it just the media is different. Yes, and
Okay. What I meant was, do you draw with paper and pencil still, or do you prefer to use a computer only?
I do both because I have to say, I started by using traditional media. I actually went to art school. I received the professional training on oil painting, watercolor, or sculpting, and all that. And so I'm used to the traditional media. Computer, it's something just, it's convenience. But, also I like to experiment. So I would say I still do both. I enjoy drawing paper, and it's a mix.
So, Joe, we're about to close out now. So, if somebody want to reach out to you for work, what's the best way for them to contact you about it?
Well, I actually can just have a Facebook fan page, and people, how am I gonna? Should I put a URL or here on the site?
Whatever you want to use. If you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you have your website. Let people know where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I have a Facebook fan page. If you'd like to contact me or know my latest update, you can just go check it. Maybe you can put the URL on the site, right? Okay, thank you.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you again here next year. That's a wrap, guys. Until next time. Bye-bye.